Hi. Today we are touching on grieving taxes and what that means. It sounds so morbid and depressing, but a lot of times we get messages around March, April about people being notified that their tax assessment just went up. And we've talked about it before. What is the assessment? The assessment is how much your town, county says that your home is worth. And it's based on a exterior view of your home and your property. They have not typically gone into your house, but they have provided a value based on area comparables as to what to base their tax percentages off of. So if school is $19 per every thousand and your house is assessed at $100,000, that's what they base that percentage off of. So a lot of times the new tax assessment rolls out, we'll get calls. Oh my gosh, my assessment just went up by $30,000. Sometimes we have had people call with a even larger increase, and sometimes it's absolutely devastating because, quite frankly, taxes are a big portion of our monthly payment, and when we buy a house we base it off of that monthly payment. And as we're doing updates and as the area is appreciating, that's wonderful, but sometimes taxes can also begin to increase, which can also be overwhelming. And there are ways to grieve that number. It's called grieving. It's basically going to the town and saying, I believe that my house is actually not worth as much as you're saying it is. So if you have reason to believe, maybe you haven't done any updates, maybe things are even in worse shape than maybe when you bought it. There's certain areas of your house, or maybe just in general you are not noticing appreciation at this level in your area. It would behoove you, and it would be definitely worth it to go and have a conversation with your local town and county to say, look, I do not believe that my house is worth that amount. What are you basing it off of? A lot of times they are great typically at providing you with the comparables that they have used. And then you can go through those comparables and say, but my house is a little different in this way and in this way. And that is something that if you would like us to review any of that information and provide any real estate knowledge or insight into verbiage or adjustments and how they've maybe compared your house to another house that maybe you don't think is a good comparable, we can help provide some insight into that if you have questions about it. There's no charge. It's just any way to help you when it comes to that situation. It can be an overwhelming situation when you get that initial, this is how your assessment will have changed this year. And if we can help simplify that process in any way, that's what we're here for. We will typically do our own, if you would like, our own CMA, where we market analysis, where we say these are the comparables in your area that we would compare it to, and this is how we would come up with the price. So look at this, review it, and if it looks more accurate, a lot of times you can take it to the town and county and say, look, this was presented to me. This is something that a real estate broker or agent put together. And sometimes that will help. And there's a time and a place for that. Sometimes areas have appreciated so well, which is great. It means that home values are going up, that number is accurate. And they will, the town and counties are pretty good at, coming back with, okay, we heard you, but this is how we're going to proceed. So there's a process to it, and it is a big headache, and it is a big thing to take on. It's not, the end of the world necessarily, but sometimes it feels like it depending on how much your assessment is going up. And that's why we're here to help however we can, even if it's just to, like I said, translate some of that information that they're sending to you as to what they base that information off of. And we can give you information. There are certain days that certain towns and counties have where you can go and you can grieve that amount and basically question it. And bring your own evidence to show that maybe that's not entirely accurate. There are certain days for certain areas. So if you would like to know when those days are for your areas, please feel free to reach out. We're here to help however we can. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.